Welcome to part 2 of my origami rose tutorial. If you're looking for part 1, you can click the link on my hand or the links in the video description or series playlist above. If you've completed your origami rose base, then all you need to do is to follow along because I'm going to show you how to close it up and complete the rose. Now that you've completed the rose base, you should have something that looks just like this. And this is the little square portion that we flattened out. So once you have that, you're going to flip the model over, and as you'll see, we now have these 4 flaps on the front. And these 4 flaps are going to become the petals of the rose. So as you can see, we have 4 petals in the rose. So before we could do that, we have to change this into something that looks like this. We're going to add a few folds, and we're going to round off these corners here so that we can close the entire model like that. And then we're going to interlock the bottom and fold out the petals to complete the rose. So to do that, we're going to work with one of these flaps at a time, and we're going to start with the one on the left here. Now as you can see, we can kind of lift up this petal and we could smooth it out underneath here on this crease. So what you want to do first is you want to lift it up, and you're going to make a little crease here up until that corner. Now you'll see when you push in there, you can't go any farther, so it'll stop right there. And what you want to do is you want to align this edge here with the vertical edge up top. So you want to take your finger, push it until it's just like that, and when you do that, this edge will also be sticking straight up. Once you have it like that, we're going to take the edge and we're going to pull it towards us, and we're going to align the edge with this vertical edge on the bottom now. So lift it up, push it down, pull it towards you, and as you'll see, when you do that, when you're pulling it towards you, we're kind of rounding it off on your finger. So we're rounding it off on our finger there. And we want to align this edge now with the bottom edge. And in here now, we're going to make a crease. So push down on that fold, and holding this here, you'll also see that we need to make a crease on the outside here. So you might need to round it off, and then you want to take your finger and you want to make a really good crease with your finger now. So there we have completed one of the petals. Now we're going to do the next one. So just rotate it clockwise and do the same thing. So lift it up here, and you want to push your finger all the way until it can't go, and it'll go to that corner right there. This edge will align with the vertical edge, and you'll also see that you'll have an edge here sticking straight up. Now what you want to do is to pull it towards you, and it will round off on your finger. And then you want to align the edge with this bottom edge on the bottom there, and you want to make a crease inside there. And then you also want to make a crease on the outside here with your finger now. So there we have 2. Do the next one. Put your finger underneath there, press down like that all the way to the corner, and then from this point we're going to take this edge and align it with the bottom vertical edge. Take it and just bring it straight down like that. Hold it there, make a crease on the inside here, and then you also want to make a crease on the outside on this fold. Make sure to make a really good crease there with your fingernail. Then you could lift it up, and then we're going to do the last one. So stick your finger underneath this flap, and you want to press down until you get to the very end, and this edge should be sticking straight up in the air. Now again, we're going to pull this towards us until this rounds off on our finger, and this edge here is going to align with the bottom vertical edge. Then we can make a crease inside here, hold this there, and also make a crease on the outside here. So when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Now, these might get flattened out, that's not a problem. The creases will stay in the paper, and as you'll see, we have made these 4 new creases as well. At this point, your model should look like this, and you'll see that I've drawn 4 lines on the new creases that we've just created, and it's not the one that goes to the corner, it's the one next to it. So that's the new crease we've created, and I've drawn it on the front and also the back, and you'll see why in a moment, why those creases are very important for folding the petals of the rose together. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to as you'll notice, the petals here are actually folded this way. They're kind of folded upwards because of the new crease we made. But that's not the way we want it. We want everything to be folded downwards and look something like this. So the corners are folded down. So to do that, we're going to flatten out the rose a bit. And you'll see that in the center here we have a square because of those new creases that we've made. So let me outline that so you could see it a little better. So you should be able to see that on your model. What we're going to do is we're going to fold downwards on these 4 creases, on these 4 lines here. And you don't want to crease it too hard, but just fold the model downward like that. And if you see it get stuck like this, pop it outwards by pushing from the inside like that. And just give it a round curve like that. So just fold downwards on those 4 creases, make sure nothing's getting wrinkled, pop everything out like that, and do that with all 4 of those lines. And you don't have to crease it too hard, just push downward on it, just like that. Make sure nothing's getting wrinkled, and it should look something like this now. What we're going to do now is we're going to crease on those lines that I have drawn. And we need to make those valley folds, so we need to make them so that it's folded upwards. Now you should have a crease there, so it shouldn't be too hard to make that crease a little bit stronger. So just take that crease and run your fingernail against it, just like that. And you should see this petal sort of move toward that one once you make that crease sharp. And do the same for the other 3 folds. So just crease that really good. You could hold it upside down if you think you could see it easier. And it might have helped if you did draw those lines on that crease there. So just make those creases really sharp. So it should look something more like this now. Okay, at this point, make sure that your rose looks like this one, and that you have very good creases all throughout the rose, especially on these 4 folds here. Because what we're going to be doing in this step is we're going to be wrapping these petals in a counterclockwise direction around this center square portion. And if you don't have really good creases, it'll make it a little tricky. So just make sure that it looks like this. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to take one petal and we're going to wrap it around to the next petal like this. And you're basically going to be folding on that valley fold there. So you want to join it to the next one and hold it there just like that. And as you'll see, if you look from the bottom, this valley fold is lining up with the petal, this petal's corner fold here. So you see this lines up with that corner there, like that. And what you want to do from this point is just make sure that it's a little rounded. So once you join it together, just wrap it around the center portion like that. And see how it kind of got stuck here? So just take your finger and just round it off like that. Okay, then you're going to just release those 2 and you're going to take this one and touch it to this one the same way we did. So just hold it on this one, make sure that it's rounded off, and just press it around like that to give it a little bit of a bend at this corner here. So then you want to do the same with this one and this one. See, now that's a cause of a problem. So what I did, it was stuck like that. So just make sure that all the creases are very sharp and that they join up together. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of problem just joining these petals together. So if everything is nicely creased, then you'll see that we should be able to wrap all the petals around. So here we go, just wrap the petals around like that, and it should look like this on the inside once you're done. Okay, so what you want to do now is to just look underneath and make sure that everything is really smoothed out. If you have anything that's wrinkled, you might just want to take your two fingers and just go along the outside and round everything off and make sure it's smooth. Also, you can push on the bottom there on that little square piece to make sure it's flat. So what we're going to be doing now is we're actually going to lock the bottom of the rose. This is the bottom and this is the top of the rose. So we're going to interlock these four corners of the bottom. To do that, we're going to fold in a counterclockwise direction, and we're going to start with any one of these. As you'll see, we have four corners. So what we're going to do, you'll see that we have a diagonal fold here. So we have a diagonal fold right here. And if you follow it all the way to this edge of paper, here is where you want to draw a horizontal line. So if you want to draw on your model, just like that, that's fine. And as you'll see, we're going to tuck this inwards like this on that diagonal fold. So you want to fold on this diagonal fold and at the same time tuck this towards the center. And you'll see that it will stop. So crease this really good. It will stop at that line there because it's getting held up by this edge. So at that point, you want to just make a nice crease there on that horizontal fold, so you have something like this. Then you're going to go to the next one. So just turn the model. You're going to go to this one. So same thing. Tuck this inwards, and you want to crease on that diagonal fold. And you'll see when it gets to that point where it meets this edge of the paper here, you want to make a horizontal fold there and tuck that inwards to the center. So now you'll see you have a flap sticking up. Do the same with the next one. So just go to this one here. We're going in a counterclockwise direction. So spin the model like that, and we're doing this one now. So just tuck it in, fold it on that diagonal fold. And then make a crease on the horizontal here. And now the last one, which is here, is stuck underneath the first one that we tucked. Do you see that? So the last one is stuck underneath the first one. So what you do with the first one is you lift it off of this corner here. Just lift it off. It was like that. You're just lifting it out of the way for a second, okay? Like that. Now you can tuck this in just like we've done with the other ones. So crease on that corner, tuck this in, and at that corner, just make a horizontal fold and crease it like that. Now you could put this first one back in there. You had it like that. Just put it right back in there. And you'll see now we have four flaps that are sticking up. What we're going to do now is we're going to interlock these four flaps together, and we're going to do it in a clockwise direction. Just check to make sure that these are really tucked in well and that you made good creases on all of these folds. Now if you've done the Ninja Star and the Origami box, this is going to be a piece of cake to you. So we're going to start with any one of these, and we're going to go in a clockwise direction. So you're going to start with the first one, and you want to just tuck it in and just make a crease there like that so it stays down. Then you're going to go to the next one, so this one here. So that's 1, and here's number 2, and just crease that on the edge there. Then you're going to do the third one. So here's the third one, and just give it a good crease so it stays down. Now the last one is going to go over the third one and underneath the first one here. So it's going to get tucked in right in here, over the third one. So just bend it like this, and you're going to tuck it over the third one and underneath the first one, right in there. You see it? And then just give it a nice little crease like that. And there you go, you've interlocked the bottom. So now all we need to do is to unfold the petals. If you've made it to this point, then congratulations, you've done an excellent job. All that's left to do now is to put the final touches on the rose, and this step is entirely up to you. I like to open up the center of the rose like this, and to fold the petals back so they look like that. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. So to open up the center, I like to use my finger, but you might find it easier to use the end of the pen. I like to pull on the corner here, right where this little V is. Pull outwards on that petal, just like that. Do the same for the other 3, so just pull gently outwards like that. And when you do that, you might find that that little square base on the inside there starts popping upwards. Again, just take the pen and you could poke downwards on it to make sure that it flattens out. So just pull gently outwards like that. And then what you could do is to round these petals off. So to do that, just grab the end here, this corner, and just fold it backwards. And at the corner here, at the bend where it's bending, you're going to find that it gets stuck. So what you do is you just push inwards while pulling backwards on it like that. And then you could round off the petal. You might find it easier, again, to use a pen and to wrap the petal around the end of the pen like that. So just fold backwards and push on this corner here, right there. And when you're doing this, make sure to hold the base very tightly, otherwise all of these will come undone. So just pull backwards like that. So this is where you need to push, right here. And then just give the rose petals a little bit of a curve. So you get something like this. Now, you should probably spend a little bit more time on it just to make sure that everything is rounded off on the inside. To make a stem for your origami rose, take the top edge of an excess piece of paper and fold it down to the bottom edge and make a crease all the way across the top. Unfold the paper, and then you're going to fold the top edge onto the midline. And you're also going to do the same for the bottom. Leave a little bit of space in between the edges, maybe like a millimeter or so, and then you're going to once again fold the top and bottom edges next to the midline. And again, you want to leave a little bit of space because now we're going to close both edges together, just like that. And we're going to give the stem a little bit of a twist, but you want to leave a few inches of space here, maybe about the length of your rose like that, and then you want to twist the rest of it. Give it a little bit of a twist like that. Not too much because it'll become weak. And then when you're done, you could put this straight edge into that opening on the base of the rose. And there you go. You have completed your origami rose. Thank you for watching part 2 of my origami rose tutorial. I hope that you found the videos helpful and that you were able to complete your rose. If you had any questions, comments, feedback, or even a video response of you finishing your rose, leave it below in the comments section. Also, let me know what you guys would like to see me do next. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up by clicking the like button below and subscribe to my videos for further notification by clicking the subscribe button above.